I'm Drew from HS Navigator, and today we're going to be going over Jupyter Notebook. And today's presentation will be pretty short, about like 15 to 20 minutes, because we won't be going too much in depth into Python. We'll just be looking at Jupyter Notebook and its basic features. So it shouldn't be the usual 1-hour presentation. So today we'll be going through Jupyter Notebook, which is a development environment for Python. The goal is not to show specifically how Python works, so we will not be discussing just Python. We will be looking at Jupyter Notebook features and how to use them. You will need to have Python installed in order to use the notebook. What is Jupyter Notebook? It is a web-based interactive development environment, mainly for Python. It has interactive outputs. It is used in things like data science and machine learning projects, so it can utilize features such as artificial intelligence. It is easy to share code and get results across teams. And it also supports markdowns, which is another good feature to use Jupyter Notebook. So once again, you will need to have Python installed, and then you will be going to the Jupyter website, where we'll be showing you how to install it soon. So this is how you install it. Once again, you'll need to have Python installed, and you can get it from python.org/downloads. And then you will need to install Jupyter, which you can get from jupyter.org/install. And then you can install the notebook, and you'll be able to run the notebook by entering this command into the command prompt. And this is the basic interface of Jupyter Notebook when you open it on your browser. It's a web-based interface, so you'll be able to use it online. And as you can see, we have a lot of different options here. So Jupyter Notebook is based on different cells, and this is one cell over here, where you type in code and you get an output. And you have different menus such as File, Edit, View, Insert, Cell, Smell, and Help. And these different menus can give you a lot of different features and options. You have options like Save, New Cell, Cut, Copy, Run, etc. And then you can add a lot of different cells and manipulate them in different ways based on what your code requires. And as you can see, after typing in print hello in Python, the output is right under the cell over here. It says it's printed hello. And now we'll be jumping straight into the live demo. Okay, I'm sharing my screen to start the live demo. So first, we can start off on the Jupyter website over here. So as you can see, this is Jupyter's website, and I scroll down to the Jupyter Notebook. And then you can click the Install the Notebook button, and then scroll past the lab, and you'll see the Jupyter Notebook options right here. And after you install, you can just use this command in your command prompt to run the Jupyter Notebook. So once you launch your Jupyter Notebook and have everything properly set up, this is the page that will open. And I'm running this from my PC, which already has everything set up and running. And as you can see, these are my different Jupyter Notebook project files that I have open. And you can see different information, such as a name on the left, they're running, when you last modified it, and the file size, things like that. And if you select it, you have other options such as duplicate, shutdown, delete, edit, and view. Okay, so we'll be creating a new Jupyter Notebook file. So as you can see, I already showed a small screenshot of how the interface was before, but now you can completely see it. We have all the different menus over here, and we have a lot of options here. So now I'm going to be typing in a line. So as you can see, I've typed in a print statement that should be able to generate some text. And then in order to execute the code, you're going to use Control and Enter. So the shortcut, once again, the shortcut to run the code is Control Enter. So after I typed in my statement and hit Control Enter, it printed out some text within the same cell. And then if you hit Escape and O together, you can hide your output. So when you hit Escape, and then you can use O to toggle to display your output, or to hide your output, as you can see. And you can also easily rerun any specific cell at any time in your coding process if you need to. In large data products, sometimes it may take hours to create models or read data from databases. In that case, code can read data in one cell and store it with the file. Users can come later at any time and continue working on subsequent nodes without rerunning earlier nodes that may make it longer to rerun. Okay, so here's a demo file that we have created for this Agent Navigator demo, and it already has a bunch of different code in it. As you can see, we have a scatter plot, and we have a large data table over here, which we used in yesterday's presentation as well on data analysis. So as you can see, our code right now is creating a chart with an x-axis, y-axis, and a bunch of random points. And then we have different axis titles. And when we hit the run button, you can see it executes and generates a plot. So in the next cell over here, as you can see, it's simply reading data from a CSV file, and it's just getting the data into the system. And then when we run it, it does exactly that. And then as you can see, we established a df variable and gave it a value in the previous cell. And now if we want to check the value of a variable, we can simply type the variable name within a cell. And when we hit the output button, which is once again Control Enter, it will display what values are stored in the variable. So this is usually a step that in data science and artificial intelligence and things like that usually take hours and hours of work and processing. And then once you finally execute that once, the rest is much quicker and easier, such as simply looking at what values you have stored in other simple analyses. And then some other things to note about Jupyter are that changes are auto-saved. Files are saved as IPYNB in with the IPython notebook. File saves include codes and outputs that you have already generated, and it can easily be shared with other users. You can convert the entire notebook to slides to show each cell with an output as one individual slide. So that makes presentation of your work or ideas also much easier and more straightforward. And another feature is the time feature. So right now we have it commented, but then if I remove the hash from and uncomment it, you can see it will show you how much time your CPU takes to process it and how much time the overall cell takes to execute. So if I rerun that by hitting Control Enter, at the bottom you can see our CPU time with 62.5 milliseconds and our wall time with 73.9 milliseconds. And then once again, as I said, Jupyter is not limited to only Python. You can use different languages such as HTML, Python 2, Python 3, Bash, Ruby, and Perl. So as you can see in this example, we're going to use an HTML code. We're just going to output some simple text. And yeah, so as you can see, it's not only restricted to Python, we can use a variety of languages over here using the $% symbol. And as you can see here, we have the markdown. So that is used to simply like add text or label different cells to make it easier to read and understand. So as you can see, typically you give a description of a project and a title to just make it more readable and presentable. And then we have a lot of options of what you can do with your cells. We have, once again, Control Enter if you want to run the cell. Run cells and select below, you can use Shift Enter. Run cells and insert below, you can use Alt Enter. And if you want, you can run all the cells. You can run all the cells above a specific cell, and you can run all the cells below a specific cell. And then there are different cell types. Once again, there are code cells, there are markdown cells if you want to simply add text. There are different types of outputs, and yeah. And then you can also download your file as a variety of different files, such as Python and .py, HTML and .html, and etc. You can also use multiple versions of Python if you have all of it installed and set up also. Right now we just have Python 3 installed, but if you had different Pythons or different languages installed, you get the options right here where my cursor is right now. And then I'm gonna be going over some common shortcuts that you can use that make coding much easier and faster. So Escape A will insert a cell above the current cell. Escape B will insert a cell below the current cell. So as you can see, we have inserted a cell above and Escape B inserted a cell below. So those are easy ways to add cells quickly wherever you want. And then as we already went over, Control Enter runs code in a cell. And if you simply hit enter without anything else, it will focus on the current cell. Okay, and then we have tab. If you start typing a function and you press tab, you can look at a bunch of suggestions on how to complete the function. So as you can see in the cell I currently selected, I'm trying to write a print statement, so I wrote PR and I hit tab, and it gives me a bunch of different options that I can choose from. And for now, we're going to go with print, so we can select that and hit enter, and it writes the print function for us. Then if we click on the left side of an output to make the output frame smaller with scroll bars, we can also use the shift tab on a function name to show the documentation. So as you can see, I have the function print, and if I shift tab on it, we can see the documentation of the print function given here. And then once again, you can click on the left side of an output to make the output frame smaller with scroll bars. So as you can see, we have a large table over here. And if you click it, it like shrinks, but we also have scroll bars to access it easily. And then if you wanna just restart and relaunch everything, you can go to this kernel tab and you can just restart everything or restart and run all whatever is required for this. It basically resets all the cells and makes all your outputs blank and just starts the whole code all over from the beginning. And then once you're done coding and running through outputs, you can save your file however you want, and you can also share it with others. And then if you're collaborating with someone and you share it with someone, when they receive it, they will see exactly what you see. That means they'll see the specific outputs that you see, and the cells that you left without any outputs, without running them. They also won't see any outputs for those, and they'll see all of your text cells, and they will, and once again, they just see all the outputs. That's a great feature. And yeah, so this is a very popular tool being used right now by different computer scientists, data scientists, especially in the field of AI. And it's also a great tool for collaborating if you're coding in modern languages with different people. And one of the key highlights of what I went over today is the ability to rerun a specific cell without rerunning the whole program. That saves so much time because when you get to large scale programs, especially in things like data science, some parts of the program will take hours and hours to run. And to simply rerun a small statement at the end, you don't need to rerun the whole program. You can only rerun a specific cell, whichever specific cell you want to. So another thing to explore is Jupyter Lab. That's basically a newer version of Jupyter Notebook where they have a more larger variety of languages available and different types of features, and it has a wider array of options in the new Jupyter Lab. So that's definitely something to check out in your free time if you're into coding. And once again, the goal here was not to teach you how to code in Python or code in any specific language, but to simply introduce you to Jupyter Notebook and show you the features of Jupyter Notebook and how simple it is to code there. So yeah, that's how you use Jupyter Notebook, and I hope you can use this tool in your upcoming projects to make it much easier to once again work on coding and also easier to collaborate. And thanks for your time. I hope you have a great summer. And sorry for the issue with my microphone earlier. If you want, you can reach out to me at this email and connect with me on LinkedIn, which is on the screen. Thank you.